Hi, I'm Teresa. Welcome to your short and sweet foam rolling series. So I have done previous videos, but they were about 20 minutes in length. And make no mistake, I'm not discouraging that you roll for 20 minutes if you can, but realistically, sometimes the day just gets away with you. And if all you have is 5 to 10 minutes, this is the sequence for you. So today I'm going to be working with the hollow foam roller. Okay, so some of the more beginner or introductory foam rollers that I've used in the past, longer, bluer, solid, high density foam. So those are gentler, a little bit kinder, and then of course you get ones with much more pronounced indentations, rumble rollers. Those would obviously be more intense and quite a lot more painful from a trigger point of view. So this guy is kind of a happy medium in between. Little bit of texture, so makes the pressure points a little bit more accessible, and ultimately the more you foam roll, the more you're going to want a hollow or a rumble roller, just because the body adapts quite quickly. Quick run through, last bit of talking before we get started. Benefits of foam rolling, very much the same as regular massage. Myofascial release, trigger point release, and very, very important for injury prevention and overall mobility work. Okay, so coming to start, you're going to sit up onto your foam roller, so it's on the base of the tailbone. Again, I'm nearly finished talking. Although we're foam rolling, again, body awareness, core awareness, don't collapse into your lower back. It does take effort. You need to protect your lower back. You need to be engaging that belly button, drawing it in towards the spine. Okay? Don't forget to breathe. The exhalation is where the stretch releases and the pressure starts to release. So I know it's going to hurt. It's very painful for a lot of people. Keep your breathing slow and steady. Okay? So, like I said, just on the base of the spine, coming up. Okay? Hands crossed in front and rolling up and down full length of your spine. Okay, and when you're comfortable with that and you're feeling quite secure in the movement, it's quite nice to rock around underneath the scapula and to the other side. Okay, given most of us sit a lot during the day, we tend to have quite a few surprise crunches around the scapula. Okay, a few times to each side, and then revisiting up and down. Okay, so try and avoid spending too much time with the foam roller on the gap between your ribs and hips. Okay, a little bit more side to side. Good. Okay, so working into the hamstrings, again, depending on the length of your foam roller, you can either do this 2 legs or 1 leg at a time. Bear in mind, 1 leg at a time, more pressure, a little bit more painful. Okay, what I was talking about, the core engagement, hands at your side, don't have them too far back, otherwise you'll load into that rotator cuff, and gently rocking backwards and forwards. Okay, so if you're feeling confident, lift 1 leg off. And notice how I twist through. That's getting all the angles of the hamstring. Okay, rounding and rolling through. Don't worry, your thigh is going to look squishy and massive. It's unavoidable. Change sides. If you're doing 1 leg, rotate it through. So I'm going to the outside. My belly button's connecting to the spine, so I don't need to worry about my lower back. My shoulders are working, but they're not taking the full load of my body weight. Okay, moving down the legs into the calf. Okay, so this one, bum comes up a little bit, similarly to what I was doing. I'm rounding and rolling middle, nice bit of crunch there in the calf, inside and outside. Okay, and you're going to notice very quickly where you're storing tension, where you're feeling a little bit sore, and obviously those are the places that you want to hang out. Keep breathing and spend a little bit more time. Other leg. Okay, thumbs off the ground, rocking to and fro, flexing the foot. Okay, quite normal to feel a lot more tension on one side than the other. Good. Okay, so legs are starting to feel a little bit awake, circulation's going. Crunch time, everybody's least favorite, ITB. Okay, so dropping your weight just below the hip bone through the side of the leg. Okay. So the leg closest to the ground is extended, foot flexed, opposite leg crosses over. That's going to help you stabilize. Okay, my right hand in line with my body. Again, not too far in front, nice and stable so I can feel like I've got control. Left hand is a pivot here, and I'm gently rocking up and down. Okay, so I like to float the leg that's getting rolled. Okay, if you want, you can drag it, see what feels good. Okay, there is a nerve that runs down the side of this leg, so it can be very painful. What you're aiming to do is come as high into the hip as you can, and as you roll down, stopping before the kneecap. Okay, quite nice and deep. Okay, if you're feeling strong and quite brave, you can even hold in certain pathways of the roll. So holding, dropping the pressure, okay, quite unpleasant, but worth it afterwards. Okay, think of if you've ever had a shiatsu type massage, or when somebody drops physio elbow into a knot, same principles. Good, and changing to the other side. Okay, so remember that setup, just underneath the hip. Okay. Legs straight out, toes are flexed, opposite leg crosses in front, that shoulder, right arm is the pivot. Okay, rounding up and down. Okay, so it's like any kind of stretch work. You have to find your flow, find what's familiar, experiment, move around, adjust the foam roller. Okay, importantly, getting as close to the kneecap as you can, but never on the kneecap, and right up into that hip. And relax. Again, if you're running a lot, doing a lot of endurance work, spend time giving attention to your ITB. Okay, we're going to move into the quads. Okay, so positioning foam rollers just above my knees, so we're never on the kneecap. Okay, hands out front. Again, core nice and strong, rolling up and rolling down. Okay, depending on the size and texture of your foam roller, you can go one leg at a time, both legs together. But remember, there are 3 different muscles that make up your quads. So spend some time maneuvering, a little bit on the outside, a little bit on the middle, and then on the inside. And the leg. So notice how I kind of rock into it, pivoting my body. Ooh, that's pretty sore. Okay, and then a little bit on the inside. Good. Okay. Nearly finished. Next up, one of my favorites. If you don't have a foam roller, this one's great to do with a cricket ball, even a golf ball, quite intense. So, sitting onto your foam roller, okay? So finding that figure 4 stretch. So I'm crossing my ankle just above my knee, okay? The leg that's crossed, I'm going to drop the weight into that glute and roll it out, okay? Very quickly, you're going to feel the spots that are sensitive and sore. Like I said before, you can drop the weight in, hold the weight on it. Keep breathing. Okay, a little bit side to side. And just because we can, we're going to roll into the other glute before we change sides. Good. Okay. Swapping over, so remember ankle bone off and away from the knee. First off, I'm dropping into the glute of the bent leg. Rolling up and down. Okay. Swapping over, a little bit to the other side. Good. And from here we can go back into your full spine roll. playing around, rubbing it out. Notice any changes, any subtle differences. Coming off the foam roller, because I'm part yogi, I'm going to end us off with a child's pose, hands resting on the foam roller. Okay, knees are nice and wide. Come to drop the weight to open into the hips, sitting back onto the heels. Little bit of elevation and the fingertips resting on the foam roller opens even more between the scapula and lats. Dropping the forehead down to the floor. Good. Coming up, so you're going to take the foam roller across to the right hand side. Both hands on top, stretch it away and melt into it. Good. Coming up, over to the left, press it away. So you feel that deep stretch through the right hand side underneath the scapula. And relax. So there you have it. A little bit shorter, maybe not sweeter. Enjoy.